Hello everyone and welcome back to Transport Fever 2 on the Mega Urban Map Slash series, where in the last episode we got this extension out, I think this is south technically, from Cashbury, and we got set up 2 new industries. The food industry, which is doing very well, might even need a few more vehicles on whatever Cashbury food one is. And that's expanding well. We've also got the fuel industry set up. Now this has a bit of a problem. This fuel plant here, from the oil sand, this is all part of the industry's expanded mod, which I have, goes to fuel and sand. Now we aren't actually shipping out any sand from here, and therefore the shipment numbers can't go up enough to upgrade, which that's a bit problematic because we'd like it to upgrade and produce more. Now, problem with where this sand has to go is it's also part of the industry's expanded. It goes to producing construction materials via a factory like this, which can take sand, just sand, and make it into construction material. Now, slight problem, this is the only one on the map, and it's all the way over here. So we're going to try to expand over this way a bit. In particular, we are actually going to get a new train line set up through the middle of the map, north-south. And I'm making it look east-west at the moment, there we go. From north to south. And this train line's not like going to any big towns, so it should hopefully be a fairly quiet one for passenger services, and therefore we could put more cargo trains on it. And the reason I say that is our passenger lines between the big places are really busy. I did, between episodes, get these giant behemoths of a train set up on this line, the Moneyopolis City, but I think we're going to have to do it on other routes as well, because our trains are just packed, and then if we also have bigger trains, we can also have fewer trains. So 204 capacity, because that's mediocre, we're going to have another engine on the other end of it. Another locomotive, whatever. So that's that. I think the rest of our lines are okay for now, but we are generally going to move towards bigger trains. We can have fewer of them, and fewer of them means less congestion on trains. Anyway, what we're going to do is this line here. It's going to come off. We're going to first of all extend. We're not using anything electric yet, so we're going to keep it to unelectrified train tracks. We're going to extend this line here. Once the game works out what we're actually doing, it's frozen big. There we go. This line here is just going to come up to Cashville. Now we're not going to do a straight connection. We are going to build it in stages. So this line here, we can make it go under this road, which will happen in a minute. There we go. And then we can also run this curve of track round here, and this is going to need quite a bit of time to adjust to the height by the looks of things. Yeah, quite a lot of time. So there we go. But to be honest, the more time they're separate for, that's actually kind of the better. Just realised we've spent an awful lot of money probably by upgrading those trains, and whilst we are bringing in a lot of money, this could be slightly problematic, we'll see. Right, anyway, so one type of signal, those are set up for like in the middle of the tracks because they're set up for left-hand running. Which doesn't matter, it's perfectly fine to have those signals, it will just look a bit weird because it looks like they're on the wrong side of the track. Right, so this line here is going up to Cash, but we're going to somehow need to get around this industrial site here. So, I mean, given the train line, part of it's going to go around to Middleton Valley. We could just see if we could send it in a, we can't send it in a tunnel right under here, right? We're going to bend it slightly this way. This is coming up quite steeply. Hang on, I'm not going to make it go up that steep. Mainly because at some point it's just going to have to come back down again. That's also creating a wonderful invisible tunnel. Let's make it a non-invisible tunnel, also known as a visible tunnel. This kind of creates like a void on the tunnel entrance and exit. Right, so at this point, what would a straight connection look like into here? It's going to clash with that, so let's just make it run. That is that track, yeah, it wouldn't work if it was the other track. Let's give it a nice big viaduct and run to about there, and then can bend in. If we raised it a bit, yeah, we can get a bridge over that road. There we go. Although it's not, it's kind of weird, right? Pause, delete the road. Actually, no, just press play. Whatever, delete the road. Create the correct track connection, not having it splitting off the other one. And then just sink that down a little bit so that it doesn't cross over. Right, so that then needs to run with the other train track like train line, double track train lines usually run, to connect over there. And then we've got 4 platforms. We are going to do a track like this, and then that is going to merge in there. There we go, and signal there. No, that's going to go down to there. There we go. We can do a signal there, and there. And then we do it a bit here, but yeah, we've got to have a junction somewhere to go up the line towards Middleton Valley. So, the one thing I will say is we probably will actually try to include cargo in these stations as well. We'll probably have them fairly central. It's only a small place. We're probably just going to go for 2 platforms, because here's the thing, there probably aren't that many train lines running along here. We might have 2, probably one from Moneytown that runs onto this line and then takes the turn up towards Cashville somehow, and then we'll have another one that starts at Money Market that's going to go Middleton Valley, Middleton, Cashminster, and then probably up to Moneyham, though we will have at least some sort of track here that connects down to Cashtopia for the construction material plant. Right, back to building a station. I just realised that built with catenary. We can turn that off, but you know what, I don't even care if it has overhead wires. And we are going to go to tracks. I realise how many assets I have on this save game. Can get an extra track with a cargo platform. Now, this obviously isn't the most efficient design for anything, but it's good enough. And you know what, good enough is fine here because it's not going to be that busy. Right, let's just somehow get our road networks back, so that can go to there. That might have to turn into a narrower road to past the station building, or can I just do a bit of a wiggle? Let's just make it do a bit of a wiggle. There we go. I can go into there, right. And we can also get a road from there across to there, and then there across to there, and there to there. There we go. I mean, actually building up the roads to a greater extent than they were built up before. That's Middleton Valley, then it's going to go to Middleton. I might do 3 passenger platforms in Middleton. Just because it's kind of straight after Moneytown. It's going to potentially be slightly busy. It's a slightly bigger place as well. We might even build them like that here, and then extend it to 200 metres. And then we want a 4th platform and track dedicated to the cargo. So extend the passenger one, and then we put in the cargo one. Then we can put in a passenger building on this side as well, of some description. That does make a connection there. Good. That'll do, actually. Right, then we can... for road, let's keep it to the narrow one, just because that one already is. And there we go. So, let's focus on how we're getting these tracks set up. So, probably on the flat bit just before the bridge, we're then going to bend off here. It's not going to be full 75 miles an hour, I think, mainly because it does have to be a fairly tight curve. And we've also got to do a curve going the other way. So we're heading towards, yeah, let's just do a bit of a tunnel there. There we go. It's not going to be the straightest, fastest, most high capacity train line, mainly because it doesn't need to be. Like I say, this is not going to be the busiest train line, at least for passenger services. So whatever we're doing right now, it'll do, quite frankly. There we go. And this heads towards Middleton Valley. You know where the train line's going to have to come down a bit, because the town is, you know, in a valley. Wonder where it's got its name from. There we go. It does cross over that road and then uses a tunnel. Can we bring the tunnel? No, we can't bring the tunnel down to there. It does make... Ooh. Yeah, you know what? Let's just not make that road connection, because there's one after the tunnel anyway. Actually, we could make that road connection with a bit of a bridge, I think. Let's see. I have no idea. Yeah, whether that's going to work. This could be an interesting thing to try. Can we get a bridge here? Yes, we can. Can we then get this road to connect? Yes, we can. Not the prettiest thing, but it'll do. Right, and then this track here, because that's a turnaround, we'll have to come in and then cut across. And if for whatever strange reason trains have to turn around here, they can. So once again, we're gonna, I assume, drop into a tunnel after this station. Like, what's the straight connection to Middleton? It's something that actually works. Oh, it's just a massive tunnel. You know, with the elevation between these two, I would say that I expect the tunnel is actually our best setup. Right, let's do... You always think when you've got three platforms like this, one of the most efficient things you can do is have the middle one as the potential turnaround or split between both directions one, and therefore you connect the third one to go the other way. In this case, we will also have... Not sure how easy it will be to make the tracks work. We will have a track, yeah. We just brought that in there and then in the tunnel cross it over. I said in the tunnel, not whatever that is. There we go. And the entrance signal will have to be there. Or signal entering the station, which I always called the entrance signal. And then here we're going to have to... Ew. That's not... Okay, that is actually going into a tunnel, just about. And then that's going to cut across to the other side as well. Once again, if for whatever reason we actually need to turn trains around here, there is a platform that can go both directions. Right, let's go back to signals. I could use autosig, though I'm not going to. I'm just going to do them freehand. Yeah, let's just do that, and then that works up to there. So that's that bit, and then just realised there's a bridge there, invisible bridge. Let's just raise the land at that point. There we go. What I'm also going to do is have signals. I'm going to make them not one way, just in case we have weird stuff going on. Signals on the platforms, just even like here, for example. Yeah, just because we will probably have some through trains. Actually, let's not put them on the entrance to the platform, and let's not delete the train track, even if we are putting them on the entrance to the train platform anyway. Because we got an entrance signal right there. Right, so we then run through the tunnel. That's the entrance signal there. Then this one I will have one-way signals. Then we get to here. Right, so This train line's then going to split after Middleton, right. So we've got 4 tracks here, and we're going to have 4 tracks coming out, so we're just going to basically... Those are coming out at different heights, that might be problematic. Yeah, well, let's make these ones just go flex. Because I think it's better if we go flat anyway. Yeah, there we go, that's good enough, I think. What I'm basically going to do, which I very rarely do, I think it's not actually that efficient, I'm just going to do, make it go for a little bit further. I'm just going to do, that's bending, why is that bending? Make it go straight for a bit further, and I'm going to do a slip switch system, which I don't usually do, mainly because one switch across means basically every train that's going up has to use the same bit of track. I will make an exception on this one, of this one. Actually no, we'll just use the slip switch. It will be fine. Like I said, this isn't going to be the busiest train line anyway. So, whoops, that's not the correct signal. I mean, we could have a signal there, but it's not really very helpful. So, a signal going out that way. Right, so, this one is then going to bend round to there with mostly just a tunnel, to be honest. And then that goes into there, into Moneytown East. This line, however, the thing we're concerned about. Right, so the other thing is we're going to somehow, I suppose we could just bring this down through Moneyford Cashville round to Family Middleton that way, but it feels like, given we're here and Middleton's there, it seems silly to go like over twice the distance. So we're not. Thinking we're bringing fuel down this line. Maybe we'll bring on fuel down this line for money on the sea, but it probably won't be a very busy train line. Let's still make it double track anyway, seems it's weird not to. But maybe we'll just do the junctions a bit less efficiently than we usually would. Yeah, just merge into 2 lines and then do the crossover, which by the way I would never do usually, mainly because 2 tracks merging into the one and then splitting again could create more conflicting movements than we need. But for this it's going to be fine. And this line here, cargo only, is basically just going to head down to Middleton. Pretty much just going to be used for the sand at the moment. Or maybe fuel later. I don't think there'll ever be any trains like going through this station from this direction. So, might be a bit meandery, might be a bit up and down this train line, but and might be a bit needing of money to build. But anyway, this is just gonna run down towards Middleton. Let's keep it in play mode. What we're doing now doesn't need to be in pause anyway. We're going to bend this way because my guess is we might have to come down a bit to meet that train line. Yeah. So, oh my god, we're 8 million in debt, right? Can some stuff make some money, please? Because we might need that money. Yeah. Let's just do a curve like that. I'm sure we might even be able to, on this side, get one to come over that. We probably won't, actually. In which case, we just pause and not even pause, don't even need to pause. Get rid of that signal there. Now we can pause just because we have the money to do this. Right, play again. Pause because we have a bit of money. Let's Could even come out as the third tunnel, and then we just got a track 2. This might be a bit awkward. Do that. But yeah, and then the entrance signal for this can be there. And then we can have signals up this line. Which was that going? Yeah, that's wrong. And that will cause issues. It's one way as well. Right. There we go. That'll do. So that comes into Middleton from this direction, which is good. Try to work, so that will merge across to run through this platform here, although maybe it might run through this middle one, from where it's going. It might actually make more sense to do that. Anyway, so now let's see how far this million goes. We've got to get the train line this way and towards whatever the place was called. Cashminster? Yeah, Cashminster. There we go, so it runs through there, under this train line. You can have a bridge here. I know the invisible bridge costs less, but I don't want invisible bridges, I want visible bridges. So we're slightly compromising speed there. This is going to have to turn into a tunnel. Okay, this is just going to have to come straight upwards at this point. And we've run out of money again. And we've got 14 million into there. Are all our lines profitable? It seems like more profit than unprofit, so hopefully. Yeah, Cash Burrito Moneyopolis Stopper. Which one's that? Oh, that one. Okay. Do we need 4 trains on there? My guess is no. One's got 17, 19, 47, 29. Right, get rid of the 2 quieter ones. There we go, 8 million suddenly. Given that was our least profitable line. And it's an established line as well there. It's not like some of our lines which have only been up and running for a little bit. So. There we go. I know this then Money Hills and Cashminster, which are quite close to each other, have not got a direct train link at this rate, but maybe they'll have a bus link at some point. Yeah, right. This is probably going to go across here. This level crossing. And then bridge this valley here. Up to here. And then Cashminster will probably run through to Moneyham from here, but Cashminster might. I don't think where will train lines run. I'm genuinely thinking this will just run into Moneyham. Then we'll have a cargo line bending off probably just before the station to go down to here, which might also, if necessary, provide a link to Cashtopia, but genuinely, I think we're just going to do a 2-platform station. See where this train line would bring it into. Okay, hang on, delete back a bit. There we go, there's our station. It will do, won't it? Like, it's not exactly central, but we can make it connect. Up, we can put another entrance on this side. Where is it? This one here. And the entrance on this side can, because this is a newer style of road, let's keep it that way, can connect to there. And then, for now, we are going to get a wonderful bridge. And then just head towards Moneyham, and we're going to need to work out where this station, realistically, it's going to be pointing that way. Like, straight up and down this way, because it's going to be the main line between Cashtopia and Cash Peninsula. So, if the train station is going to be there, then this train line might have a bit of awkward wiggling to do. But we're going to put the train station here, 4 platforms, 240 metres. Yeah, we're not going to have enough money for all of this, but let's put it in here. We're going to have a lot of deleting stuff to do. I hate the fact that I've got to go back into play mode. Hang on. Player ownership. Free to do. No connecting anything through here. There we go. Oops, wrong station. I'm not selecting the right station. Right. Passenger buildings. Let's mirror it on the other side. So we've got one here, here, here. That does connect. Good. Right, so this is then gonna, if we're imagining the tracks are gonna, well, they will have to come out this way, let's build them. And they're gonna have to destroy a lot of stuff. By the way, these roads can have player ownership removed now. There we go. Forgot how to left click just to remove them. Right. And we need to wait some more money. Pause. Right now. Let's just keep it flat for now then. Get onto a bridge. Why is it still doing that? Why is it being weird? I suppose this bridge isn't very high. Let's just get... I'm going to do 4 tracks anyway because we've got 2 to bend in from here. If we bring that to there, and to there, then we can make a connection and it's on a bridge where it's reasonable to be on a bridge. Right, once again, I think I might actually do the slip switches. It actually works. I can do it. It's not actually working. You could kind of make it roughly that design. Anyway, what we might need to do is lower the land here, which is going to cost money. And that might just keep everything actually wanting to do a bridge. Like, why is it not on the bridge there? Yeah, hang on, if we make this tighter, we can't do that. We could, however, do like that and then like that. And if they want to do something, we might actually give them something like that there. And then if we select the junction, which will be more complicated, we can do double slip switches. And then we can't do the triple switch on this bridge. Yeah, that'll do for now. And then this is going to bend round here. For some reason that seems to become not a bridge very briefly. Go back to being a bridge, so does that. You're a bridge, okay. There we go. So, that goes around there. And then that connects. Which one does... What's that? Yeah, let's bring it double track down to here. Just so we know where we're connecting. So it's like that. And then, yeah, there we go. Connecting to Monium. So entrance signal there, entrance signal there. And then signals along here. There we go, right then this is right here, we are going to do a junction, probably fairly tight turn, that's fine, we could do it roughly 60, that works fine, So we just need to get signals for that. Good. We can do stuff up here now. There we go. Right, so this junction here will then have a line runs beneath this bridge on a bridge. Which would be cool if we kind of did a brickish bridge. There we go. That works. We should probably, yeah, it's going to need to come down quite a lot. If we just make it not come down as much, should be able to get over this road. And then there needs to be a big bridge here. The thing about this map is it's not very flat, so building train lines is complicated and expensive. And at the moment we're not making enough money for constantly needing to spend all that money on bridges and tunnels, right? Yeah, it's amazing the invisible one costs so much less than anything else, right? Pause. Get it in before we run out of money to do so. Right. Cargo station. Let's just do 3 platforms for now. Keep it simple. Just under 800,000 to plop it right there, and we've just gone into debt again. Right, this is going to be a bit of a cycle now. With all the stuff we're building in this episode, we haven't actually done anything so far in this episode really that will make us significantly more money. We've just spent a load of money on infrastructure, which doesn't make us money until we put services on it. So once we build this station, get it connected to the construction material plant, a few signals in, we can actually set up services, providing of course we have enough money to get the trains. So just waiting for us to get out of debt, which we are slowly doing. Okay. Roads. That. Tracks. That. It's not, once again, not the most efficient junction, but I'm just getting something in that'll do. Because for now I really just want to start running trains on this line. There we go. Right, so first things first. Our intercity service, which does this line here. I'm not sure if we're going to make it stop. I think we will make it stop at Money Market East. And then Cashville, platform 1. And then it's going to run up to Dollartown, platform 3. And then Cashville, platform 4, and then Money Market East again, then Money Market. Right, time to fiddle with platform allocations a bit. So Money Market, that should be number 4 this direction. Money Market East, that one should be number 1. Which means Money Market needs to be number 2, which means they'll need to cross over a bit there. And then, yeah, that's that. So we will need more trains on that line, but whatever. And I'm going to scrap this line off. We'll get a line through to Moneyford eventually, but really, it's not a very vital connection. I could just change it Dollartown. So to get a bit more money back, goodbye train. Actually, I should have kept that train. So Dollartown to Cashville, stop at managed line, delete. Then that money town to money market city is money town to dollar town. And that will almost certainly need more trains, but for now we ain't really bothered about them. Right, so the other new line. Okay, so we're going to do one from Moneytown. Needs to be something like 5, I'm pretty sure. 5 to 10. Moneytown East. Middleton. Middleton Valley. Cashville. We're going to make it turn around here. On platforms 2 and 3. Right, so Middleton Valley. Middleton. It's kind of awkward how they merge in and back out again here. There's not. If I did something like this, would they use it? No, so why should we even have it in there? Let's just leave it like that. And then stop back here on the way back. Right. So that's going to be Moneytown to Cashville stopper. And then the last service we'll want for passengers is the long one from Moneyham to Cashminster to Middleton to Middleton Valley to, we could even make it terminate here. We're not going to. Hang on a minute, I've just thought of something. Money Market Shuttle here. We're going to definitely upgrade these trains, but this is no longer going to be the Money Market Shuttle. This is going to be Money Market to, I've forgotten the name of the Moneyham, I think it is. We are definitely going to need to upgrade the trains. So Money Market is going to run Money Market East, Middleton Valley, wrong platform, Middleton, wrong platform, and then Cashminster, Moneyham. That's a good platform to use. Cashminster, Middleton. I suppose it kind of makes more sense to use this platform. Whatever. Middleton Valley, Money Market East. Yeah, I think the first time we definitely make it use one, but yeah, this time we might actually make it use that platform, because then we're going to make it Money Market. Oh, whoops. After Money Market South, it needs to stop at Money Market again. Yeah, we can make it use platform 1 both directions. There we go. So, that's no longer, that's yum. So we have got passenger trains running on some of our new lines. They're just not exactly the most efficient. And then we want, there we go, that's going to be Cashtopia Sand. So both stations use every platform. Cashtopia Sand. Right, what do we have enough money to buy in terms of trains? Got a train depot here which we'll have to do for this, right. What's sand carried in? Gondola? Yeah, that makes sense. Right, let's get that going. The sand line. And then we can go into play. Let's go into fast forward actually. This will, yeah, now it's upgrading. As soon as I do that. And then we can actually have a look at where our lines are lacking. Or slacking or whatever. Particularly, I think. And we've still got the line up through here that we haven't got trains on. And we've definitely got to upgrade the trains on this line. Which is probably our next priority. And probably getting more than 2 of them's a pretty big priority as well. So even just replacing the locomotive is going to cost us quite a lot of money. What I will do as well is that train's there currently. They're going to be very poorly spaced out. If that train goes now, so go into play mode. I'm just going to make that stop. There we go. And that's going to stop at Money Market East. Probably quite a lot of confused passengers on that train. It's going to run down this line, yeah, and it's going to... Ideally, to space trains out well, this is going to have to get all the way to Moneyham before I release the other one. Okay, we've got quite a lot more money now. Let's just do that. There we go, just before the money then disappears again. Right, so Dollar Town fuel, which is not full. There we go, there's our sand route, and it's got a decent amount waiting for it. It's not going to be full. But yeah, this is now about to upgrade now. And that should then require more from this route here, which is good. Because wherever one of those trains are, there we go. They are not at all full, generally. So that route requests more, it's going to be good. Please mate, what are you doing? Go back. Go back and pick some stuff up so I can make some money. There you go, right, yeah. Did I tell you how much we're underdoing the number of trains? Maybe I'll release the other one once this train gets to Middleton. Just because I'm thinking we're not going to stick with just 2 trains on this line, that would be ridiculous. Town food, just a few more trains. It might just be they're getting stuck in a bit of congestion. Yeah, right, let's release this one now. A lot of passengers waiting there. Probably more people realising where they can go to now. So yeah, we are going to need a couple more trains on that line. How much is it going to cost to clone one? Okay, we've just done it. Where is that train? This train here has just come out the depot. This one's just come out the depot. Right, so where is that going? Yeah, that's going to go that way, that way. Okay, so it's actually, once it gets onto the train line, I know it's going to do the loop. It would actually have been better if it went out along this way through the cargo station. Actually, no, the cargo station doesn't go anywhere. I thought, yeah, we are going to connect it up to that line at some point. But not yet. So this is now running to Money Market, I think. So we might get it to stand there for a while. There's Money Town food, money. Okay, 2 of them coming to the food stop consecutively. Right, there's our train. Yeah, we're going to give it some stand time at Money Market, just so that it can be spaced out, because there's our other train. Yeah, that's our other train. Right, we're going to make it. What on earth is it doing, going up and then down again? Right, pause. Okay, we're going to wait for our first train to get all the way to... No, it is all the way already at Moneyham. Right, we're going to give it a bit more time, probably. But it's good to have trains that are well spaced out. Let's at least make sure this train gets back to Cashminster. The other problem we're going to have with these new train lines is obviously once we get more train lines, better connectivity. This is obviously, Moneyham's going to have train lines to loads of other places. But for now, all the passengers from Moneyham have to go along this train line here. Which, like I said, this is supposed to be a quiet route. It is going to be a quiet route, but when this is the only train line that goes to Moneyham, it is not going to be the quietest route. It could be quite busy, in fact. So, yeah. Oh yeah. It's quite full. This train might make a fair bit of money. Right, when are we going to release the other train? When are we going to pass? Yeah, we're not going to pass until... Right, yeah. It's going to pass at Middleton, yeah. Which is a bit closer to Moneyon, but yeah. Maybe once this train gets to Middleton, we might release our third train. Which, like I said, even 3 might not be enough, but we're going to go for 3 on this line, and then we're going to start getting trains on other lines. A little bit of the pressure from this line will be taken off by, for example, getting a train on the line up from Moneytown that goes along this track here. Right. You can be released now. And that's a busy route. Okay, yeah, and this route here, the train's going to be awfully spaced out because they were quite close together, and then I told them they had to go up here. So... that's going to be... yeah, see 2 of them there. What if we just at some point told this one to turn back around? At the moment there's... this one going out, okay. There we go, right, that's that, they're all going back towards Moneytown now. There aren't any going back up again, so... where's the train we were watching? There's one going down this way right now, there's another one there. At a certain point I'm going to get that one to turn around. Even there seems to be a bit of a traffic jam here. Right, I'm going to invent a piece of track for this train. This is going to turn around. And therefore space out the trains a bit better. There we go. Right, how's the sand demand doing? We're going to need a bigger train. I did know that. We couldn't afford a bigger train at the time. Let's just... even though it's currently going the other direction, let's get a bigger capacity. Right, pause. That'd be our one chance to get a train. Not sure how it's going to get on. Actually, it's fine. It'll go up to Cashville and get a train on the Cashville to Moneytown line. Right. Let's get 140 capacity and Moneytown to Cashville stopper. Just going to go and start up at Cashville. Just got a bit of a journey to do, but hopefully by the time it gets there, plenty of people waiting for it. Yeah. I realised at some point I didn't actually connect this station to the rest of the road network. That bit should be connected. Let's put player ownership on this because I just realised it was connected there. As soon as another road connected off it, it was not connected to the station. There we go. Okay. How's this doing? I think it's getting to a point where it can't really produce any more food for where it's currently shipping to. Same with this. This has got a bit more weighting. It's still not that much. I think these trains might still be overdoing it a bit. Look, how much is that picking up? 117. Well, let's call that 120 something. We could reduce that to 132. Bear in mind, I don't think the fuel place is going to upgrade again anytime soon. Probably just isn't shipping enough, yeah. Save a bit of money there, right. These train lines are all quite busy. Got a lot of trains running through here. But yeah, we are going to have plenty of trains going on this line. But yeah, this one is getting busier again. Gonna get another train. Where did that This one's 0 months old. It's going to go, yeah, that's totally the direction where we've already got a lot of trains heading down, I think. If that's going out towards Money Town Centre, yeah. There we go, there's another train there. Right, therefore pause here. I'm going to invent a track for this train to go back the other way. There we go. Whoops, that was not what I intended to delete. There we go. And now this train should, in theory, be a bit better spaced out compared to the others. Although there is another one coming back up again here. That's full. This line here is going to be a bit busy. Let's get another train on it. Could even give every train an extra carriage. Or we could if we didn't just pay out a load of money in expenses. I'm pretty sure we don't have any loan, do we? No, so it's all just all the expenses for our vehicles and infrastructure. I can just hear all the buses dropping off people and making money here. Right. Might be time to get another train on this once we have the money as well. And we've got a load of stuff stacked up here. And this bus route's always very busy, so it might at some point be a good idea to get another bus route through Moneytown. I'm just going to spam click this until it lets me. There we go. As soon as I did that, expenses came out. And maybe we'll go up to 168 capacity as well, because it's better to get bigger trains than more trains, because more trains is more congestion on our lines. Because, yeah, you can already see there are so many trains going into Moneytown on these 4 tracks here. Okay, so what's the busy route here? Ah, yeah, we did just get an extra train on there, but yeah, I think we're still waiting for the first train to arrive, but clearly that's, yeah, I was pretty sure that was going to be a busy route as well. Because that's actually quicker than getting the Intercity up this way, probably. So, would in fact be good to get a 3rd train on there, I think. But that requires money, which we don't seem to have much of at the moment. Just realised Moneytown to Cashville stopper. Moneytown East Hull. I'd expect it to be on number 4. Particularly given the platforms it runs into here. Right, shall we get ready to clone? So we've got the extra carriage on, it's going to be a bit more expensive. Oh, we just had a load of expenses go out. Okay, come on money. There we go. We've got another train. There we go. And the thing is, all these new train lines we got today, they're not going to add passengers to other lines, they're going to take them away. Because other than the connection up from Money Market to Cashville, they're all connections to new places rather than more connections to existing places. On that note, yeah, this is going to be busy, isn't it? What's this train doing? It's got 120 sand on board. This is going to be busy. Where are we going here? It's got quite a lot of sand waiting, but yeah. I think that's where we're going to leave this episode for today. So we've got quite a lot of new train infrastructure in once again. At some point we're actually going to have built every line and then we'll realise none of them have enough capacity for the amount of people we need to move. But yeah, thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.